Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cantina.
Welcome.
I hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you guys can sit down, relax, have a drink, and listen to some movie news that we got for you today. As always, I want to thank you guys for helping us grow our YouTube channel. We hit 25 subscribers. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. We gained like 5 subscribers in a week, which is crazy. YouTube's been pretty hard to grow on, so pretty pumped about that.
Very saturated market on YouTube.
Obviously, yeah. But also we got a partnership with Raise Energy. Go on their website, order their supplements, energy drinks, whatever. They got a buttload of products you can order. Use our code Cantina Corner, check out 15% off just for putting in our code. It's free money.
Yep. It's like Geico. Save 50%.
Exactly.
Can't beat that.
We're giving out just as good a deals as Geico.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
Fuck that stupid Gecko.
But let's get into it. We're going to talk about Marvel in this episode for movie news, basically, because they pretty much stole the show this week. They announced, I believe on Sunday, they technically announced all this. They announced their Phase 4 plans. Dates. We already knew what was coming. We just didn't have like definitive dates. And they gave us definitive dates for the movies, but not the TV shows. I think they're going to play with the TV shows a little bit. You kind of saw that with WandaVision. I think it was scheduled for 10 episodes. They only did 9. So I think they want some flexibility there, which is smart. They can push stuff back, move it up, and Disney knows what they're doing. As much as I hate them, they know what they're doing when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what's cool is like this is I've been really kind of getting into Marvel movies and stuff. So I missed all this like Phase 1 through 3 crap and all that. But I kind of liked how they have this thing come out, which kind of lays the groundwork for what you can expect. Because what it was like movies up until 2023, I like that they like released that and was kind of like, here's what the game plan is. Like, I thought that was pretty sweet. It kind of sets it up like it's just I could see it builds the excitement for things.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Like you see, from someone who's just getting into like, you're just starting to watch the Avengers movies and all like the Black Panther movie and all that stuff, and then you see like how far out they've got this stuff planned.
Yeah,
and it's like, wow, we're not gonna get like a Guardians of the Galaxy they have for May 5th, 2023. Like they're planning out already a full year ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, when a movie's gonna come out. And it's like, what we didn't get in that was another Avengers movie. So I am interested if that is like a secret, because there is a huge break where they could fit an Avengers movie in this, which I'll probably get into. Because I think you'll see all these characters within each other's movies. Obviously, like Thor and the Guardians, they're all together at the end. So I think you'll see some crossover.
So it's like, because I know, I'd watched what was that, Endgame, and Thor was like part of their crew now. So it was like, but I seen, did they not wasn't there a Thor movie set to be released too in this one too? So he's not fully in their like crew then, like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like, that's the last time we see them, so I'd assume the Guardians will be in that movie in some capacity. It may just be, a very small capacity. And who knows, it may be directly linked to the Loki show,
That'd be kind of cool. I'm stoked for that show.
Yeah,
that
me too.
Be sweet.
That's the next thing they got on their docket, which comes out June 11th, which honestly isn't that far away.
No, not at all.
That I am stoked for that show. Tom Hiddleston is one of my favorite actors, and he plays that character fucking perfect. But yeah, I could see that those 2 movies and the Loki show being directly connected to each other, as well as like having like a connecting story within all the movies. That's kind of their MO.
That's what I've noticed as I'm, like I said, starting getting into all these. I see how now I did skip around because some of them was just like, I'm just trying to hit some here and there. But even those few that I've like gone in and watched, I could see how they kind of connect and all that and intertwine, and it's kind of sweet. And then obviously watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I could definitely see how the movies I did watch and even the ones I skipped tied in even with that show and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So
They do a very good job of making sure they're on their shit when it comes to that.
It just makes me bitter about Star Wars.
Yeah, it is incredible, and I mean, I know we've talked about this before. It's May the 4th, but they inherited Star Wars. They built this MCU, and it's a total different spectrum that they completely undersold. They tried to create something new by tying it into something that already existed and just missed the ball completely.
It feels like they almost like rushed it too, though. Like they did try and make something new, which I do. On one hand, I get trying to want to make, once you buy Star Wars, you're like, oh, well, let's try and do something new, put a new spin on it, because obviously Disney can do that.
Yeah.
And it's just though it felt like it was rushed along with them trying to do that too. Like they wanted or felt like they had to hit certain dates of these movies coming out and stuff, and it was just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do looking at this Marvel stuff and the way they lay things out, like that was kind of one of my main thoughts about it is like, man, how much more better these Star Wars movies could have been if they had taken their time to do this. And actually, I mean, I still would have been fine if they crafted their own new thing. Totally would have been cool about it. But it just, because I like I said, I like the way Marvel did this thing where they released it and set out like just their timeline for the next 2 years. I thought it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I mean, with Star Wars, they didn't write all 3 scripts at once. Like it seems like Marvel, like they write out these scripts and then it's like, listen, you might be directing like Thor, Love and Thunder, and you're directing Guardians of the Galaxy, but this key point that's going to be in this movie has to be in this movie. You have to make sure when you're writing this, it's in there. They didn't do that with Star Wars. I mean, you could tell there was absolutely zero collaboration between directors, even though they said there was, and clearly there wasn't.
I'm sorry, I don't feel like there was with Rey coming as a Palpatine. Like
Rey
out of
changed
left
her
field,
backstory all 3 times, all 3 movies, all 3 movies have changed.
Then they made it clear in the second one too that I shouldn't say made it clear, but they heavily hinted at her just being a nobody too. Yeah, when they show that kid at the end of the movie just like use the force on that broom, like literally trying to like, make it just really like heavily show like, Rey literally could just be some random person. And
exactly.
And even that wouldn't have been terrible.
Been fine.
Yeah, if they had followed that up in the third one, I liked it. But if they had followed it up in the third one to kind of, I don't know, just craft that story better, I would have totally been fine with even that.
Yeah. But anyways, back on to Marvel, because we're gonna go down a rabbit hole if we keep going with Star Wars. Yeah, so we'll just go over the dates here. We got the Loki show June 11th. Then they got Black Widow scheduled for July 7th. So I'm gonna assume when Loki ends, we're gonna get probably a week break, and Black Widow's coming out. Then
I got a question about Black Widow.
Okay, go for it.
Does she really have any powers or anything, or is she just kind of like a?
She's just an agent. She's Agent Romanoff.
Gotcha.
I mean, she's got a very particular set of skills. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
She's just a badass and a total babe.
That's for sure.
What if they have the schedule? This is what I was telling you. This is a TV show. What if summer 2021? So I'm assuming sometime after Black Widow, they'll give us that. They might push it back so that it leads into that Shang-Chi movie. We reacted to the trailer of that. But what if, just a brief summary if you guys don't know what it is, that's where they'll take like Agent Carter and be like, what if Agent Carter was the one to take the super serum and become Captain America? They basically just change storylines with characters and stuff. And, what if this happened?
That'd be cool. What if they didn't save the Chinese consulate's daughter? Right.
Like, what if it wasn't Peter Parker that was bitten? It was somebody else. Like, So, yeah. And then the Eternals, which will be coming out November 5th, 2021.
What's that one about? Because that was the only time when I watched that thing with you. Was it the trailer we watched
Yeah.
yesterday to get the rundown of this? I know nothing about that. All the other ones I kind of had an idea about of like just getting into this, but that one and what was like Angelina Jolie and who's the other? I thought there was another big name actress that looked like it was in. I was like, oh, they're playing in some Marvel movies. Like this must be a huge movie or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know a shit ton about the Eternals. I do know that they're kind of like the entity that keeps track of everything from the sidelines. That's the wrong way to say it, but like they're kind of like the overseers of everything going on in the MCU.
Okay.
So I am interested to see like what those movies are actually going to entitle. Like, are they going to step in and show them stopping certain things from happening or allowing certain things to happen for a reason? And I think you could see some crossplay from what's already happened and what's going to happen in the future in that movie. But that's a movie I gotta look into, and I gotta look into those characters. But I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what movie it is, but they have Stan Lee in one of his cameos talking to these alien figures, and they're supposed to be the Eternals. I think it's a Thor movie. I want to say it's like Thor 2. But you know how Stan Lee has a cameo in like every movie.
Yeah.
And in the one, he's talking to these aliens, and I know they said like, oh, that's supposed to be the Eternals, but I mean, that was way before they even announced they're making a movie.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be about, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to look into that for sure. But that's November 5th of 2021, so that's like way down the line. Shang-Chi was September 3rd, which is kind of crazy. We're going to get Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals all this year. And then on top of this year, we're going to get the Hawkeye series, which is going to be fucking dope. He's going to be, you know, running around with his daughter. His daughter will be part of, and I've talked about this, they are setting up the Young Avengers.
Okay.
And there's no doubt in my mind they are. That might be a Phase 5 thing, but they are so far in WandaVision, her kids are in Young Avengers. They introduced the two kids for a reason.
Okay.
Isaiah's son from Captain and the Winter Soldier.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Isaiah's son. He's in the Young Avengers, and then Hawkeye's daughter is in the Young Avengers. So there's 4 things early on in Phase 4 that are already introducing these characters to people, so that when a movie comes out, they're like, "Oh, I remember seeing these guys." You know, I just personally, I think that's where they're going with that.
It would make sense.
Yeah,
especially like when like I said, getting into these movies, I went through Disney the one day and was just looking at like when the movies first started, basically, because it did start with the first Iron Man, essentially, right?
Yep.
Going back and looking at the release date of that to now, it's like this has spanned over 10 years now.
Yeah.
Like
22 movies.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So it's like I could definitely see, just because of that length of time, like, yeah, them wanting to set up the next, like, the next generation, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty sweet to see too. Like, it's pretty cool. Again, I really I'm digging the way Marvel's setting this stuff up. I kind of wish I had got into this stuff a little sooner than I had, but at the same time, seeing it kind of how it's
now
already
you don't
been,
have to wait, dude. You can
that is one great. That's one great thing. Is like as soon as I knock out a movie, I'm like, oh, there's the next one I need to watch is on Disney already. Like, it's pretty nice in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see that being nice. But then also in late 2021, they have Miss Marvel. The second one's coming out. I think it's called Marvels, however you want to pronounce it.
That's Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't have I don't remember if they had a definitive date on that. This article just says late 2021. But the movie I'm more excited about than any of these things out here, besides maybe Loki, Spider-Man 3, No Way Home.
Yeah.
December 17th. So, and they're even telling you Disney owns the Christmas market for movies. It's a huge market and they own it. Usually Star Wars movie comes out, it's coming out in December. And and they're putting out Spider-Man December 17th, 2021, which is exciting because we don't have to wait another year.
That's one that I'm like almost tempted to maybe go to the theaters to see, because I've really liked the new Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
They've been fucking awesome.
Yeah, I tried telling you.
Yeah, they're good. They are.
Tom Holland, as weird of like, we're just like, yeah, that's kind of weird and dorky. It's like he plays it perfect.
Mm-hmm. And the movies themselves too, around him and Spider-Man, the character and all that, have been solid too. Like the movies are just, they're great. And then he does knock it out with Spider-Man. I really enjoy his Spider-Man and all that. And again, like I said before, I love that they had Mr. Jameson come in and it's the guy reprising his old role. I was like, yes, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I know I've told you and Adam this. I know this is supposed to be like a multiverse movie or a Spider-Verse, however you want to say it. I hope they have Jameson play both of his roles from this universe and the Toby universe. Like, have him play both versions of Jameson, have them meet somehow with like a split screen. That would be fucking incredible.
Oh, it'd be awesome. It'd be hilarious too.
It would be great. But after that, we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness right after the Spider-Man movie, and that'll be coming out in March, which is like March to May is like Disney's second big movie release, so it's no surprise that that's coming right after Spider-Man. The next one we're gonna get is Doctor Strange, because I think that's gonna introduce like our main antagonist, I guess you could say, like the multiverse and everything, and what's happening with that.
Basically, like Thanos sense type, like figure. They're gonna try
your
and
threat level, your threat level midnight, yeah. And then after that, not too long after that, Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in May of 2022. So you only have to wait 2 months to get another Disney movie. It's kind of crazy to think about. And then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which I'm very interested in seeing because of obviously Chadwick passing away and what they're going to do with that.
That's I was thinking the same thing when I seen it, because I loved the first Black Panther. Was awesome.
Yeah,
that one was one of my favorites when I went through and was watching these. And yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what they do with that one.
Yeah, it does. Like I said this before, it sucks that they killed off Killmonger, because he would have been. You can't take that role of T'Challa away, but like to step in as that like a redeeming factor. Like, all right, I'm gonna
reformed and stuff, and just kind of like
it would have been perfect storyline. This is my family bloodline. Like, I need to step up and be the Black Panther. For Wakanda.
Yeah.
And it would have been pretty. It would have been great. I know they're leaning towards his sister, which does make sense, because she does make all the tech and stuff there. So
yeah, she was pretty badass.
Yeah, and so that one comes out July 8th. So it's only like another 2-month wait period. So you're getting like 3 movies in a span of like 6 months.
It's insane. It's almost like they're trying to make up for lost time from last year. So
it's crazy.
Like, they're just like, we're gonna hit people with these movies, like just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Marvels. So this is the Marvels, the movie. Be November 11th of 2022. So that'll be the Miss Marvel movie. Miss Marvel must be a show, I'm assuming, that we talked about earlier, that'll come out later this year.
Okay.
Which makes sense. You could set up a little storyline to do the second Marvel's movie, because she's kind of the only character that's not really, just kind of does her own thing.
They haven't really like fleshed her out too much or anything.
No, I mean, she had her move. I got some real issues with how they handle that character, but
I've heard a lot of issues too about it, and it's one reason why when I was going through hitting these movies like I have been, I was kind of like, I'll watch that one a little bit last, because not that I listen too much to critics and stuff about movies. I'll usually just try and jump in with just and just take a movie for what it is. But that one, it was like I did hear so much negative about it. I was like, I'll just kind of put that one on the back burner. I'll end up watching it, but
the movie's not bad. I just have an issue with how they handle the character, because it's like, especially like Endgame, like it there's a prime example is how she is in Endgame. Like, oh, okay, we got to stop Thanos. Oh, well, I'm busy doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, but guess what? I'm going to show up right at the end. And then it's like, and I know it was a whole political thing with the fucking woman scene, you know. It was a cool shot. I mean,
it wasn't
it is
bad,
what it is. I do have an issue with, I guess, Brie Larson, that's her name, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said she wasn't going to do that movie unless they had that shot in there, which is just asinine. And I know she's like a feminist or whatever, but I mean, it is what it is.
It just sounds like an ego actor.
It's exactly
actress. Like,
that's my issue with it. It's not
it's
not the shot. Like the shot, it was great. I mean, yeah,
it was
like
good,
let's give these girls their fucking their time. Here's my issue with it. As soon as you're like, oh, she's not alone, and they show all them fighting, what does she do? Gone. She just blasts her way through everybody. It's like, yeah, you just totally stole the power of that scene, like, and made it completely irrelevant.
Or the fact, like, that she could have been doing some of this stuff from the get-go. Like, it would have never got to that point. That was one thing I didn't like, too, was some of it where it was like, now I got the one line where she was saying something like, you know, this isn't the only universe she's protected and all that, and I kind of got that. But it still was just some of the parts where, where it's like she's going through and doing this. And it's like, you could have done that, like, 5-10 minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, like,
which is
we saved a lot of time here or something.
I know I talk about all the time my whole issue with the Justice League, but I'll leave that alone. I won't shit on that movie anymore. Yeah. So yeah, the Marvels come out, or Marvels, whatever you want to say, November 11th, 2022. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. And then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. And that is Phase 4. And it is important. There is a trailer out for all these. They kind of just like an announcement trailer type deal. At the very end, they have a 4 for Phase 4. It is literally the Fantastic Four logo.
I wanted to say something too when we were watching that last night when it showed that. I was like, now the way it kind of silhouetted could have been an A for Avengers, but I'm like, my first thought was like Fantastic Four, like, but then I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't really know this universe too well and all that, like, but I thought the same thing was Fantastic Four.
No, it is. It was 100%. That's gonna be their logo for Fantastic Four. Brilliant move. Throw the Easter egg in there because I would almost put. I'm not almost putting money on it. I'd put money on it that you're gonna see some of these Fantastic Four characters introduced in this phase.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Because they did. Obviously, they just got the rights for it right before this phase started. There's no doubt in my mind you'll see Reed Richards, Victor Von Doom. You might see. I think Victor Von Doom will be the main protagonist in Phase 5. That's my guess. Total guess. I have no information on that, but
do you think reprise his role?
Michael Chiklis? No.
Yeah. No?
I don't. I mean, we all like Michael Chiklis, but I just don't see it. That dude's old now.
Yeah, he is.
But I do think it's interesting to point out too, the Guardians of the Galaxy logo. I don't know. Have you started watching any of those or no?
Not those ones yet. No, those are ones where like I've seen bits and pieces of them, and they weren't super interesting at the moment when I was kind of jumping through. The next ones I think I am going to start on are going to be the Thor movies, and then probably go through and I really want to watch Winter Soldier again because that was when I seen that forever ago, and I don't really remember a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
But Guardians of the Galaxy, that'll be kind of after Thor, probably after the Avengers. I'll probably catch up on that as well, and then I'll probably jump into Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Because Guardians of the Galaxy, there's kind of a theme going on with them. They hint towards a death in their logo for each movie. And the first one, like the lettering in Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of like woodish. Groot, he dies, but he, he's a tree, just is reborn or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Handu is kind of teased in the trailer, or not the trailer, the logo for Volume 2, the way the background of the lettering is. And then I thought
Which
it was
one? Who's that one?
that's what's his name from he voices in Call of Duty. But he is the guy with the red. You wouldn't know unless you see the movies. He's not in any of the Avengers movies. But he's kind of like Quinn's like father figure, I guess you could say.
Let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can. How do you spell his name? I'll look up a picture.
Hondu? I don't fucking know, dude.
Hondu. He wants to just correct to Honda.
Put right. Guardians of the Galaxy Han, and then it should pop up.
Here we go.
I forget that he plays.
Oh, okay. I know.
Merle
I've
in
seen
The
that
Walking
character
Dead. I
before.
forget the guy's name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I know I've seen the character here and there.
Yeah, so they hint towards his death in the title, but in this one, it's kind of like a metal theme, in the lettering, and you know, there was rumors of there was going to be a big death in that movie, and a lot of people are thinking it's going to be Rocket, which would be crazy. It suck because honestly, he's a great character, and Bradley. The first time I saw Guardians, I did not know that was Bradley Cooper voicing him.
I didn't either. And that's what Alyssa was saying. Something I was like, really? That's Bradley Cooper.
That's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we'll see what happens with that. Just something to keep an eye out. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for Phase 4. It's just a shit ton of shit they're just gonna be pumping out. I think, what do they got here? They got 1, 2, 3, 4 movies for this year that we haven't gotten yet. And then in 2022, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 movies coming out in 2022, and then 2 already planned for 2023. So they are pumping it out.
Yeah, and like you said, not to mention there's going to be shows in between, most likely.
Exactly.
So we already know Loki for sure, and then you said the
What If, the Hawkeye series, Miss Marvel. So yeah, they're just going to be pumping out content.
Yeah, that's a ton.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited for a couple of these things more than the others, but I mean, I'm going to watch them all, obviously. But I think Loki and Spider-Man 3 definitely top of my list for what I'm excited for. And then probably Black Panther after that.
I want to say, too, I like the new Mary Jane. Just a sarcastic
hell
asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. She's great. What's her name? Zeta?
Something like that. I'm not too familiar with the actress, but yeah, I love how they just made her just dry sarcasm. Yeah. Like, I love it. It's exactly my kind of humor and stuff too. I love it. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, she is good. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you're excited for, what you're looking forward to seeing. If you're even excited to see it. Or if you hate the show, let us know.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think that'll do it for us, and we will see you next time here in the Cantina.
Oh.